Welcome, I'm Debbie House, Editor-in-Chief of Retail TouchPoints, and I'm here with Shelley Cohan, who is the Vice President for Retail Consulting for Retail Next.
It's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful, but welcome and thanks for joining us today. So I'm going to get right to it. We're going to talk about, just what are some of the trends for 2016. It's the beginning of the year, and I know you guys are focused on the customer experience. So fill us in a little bit on your insights.
Absolutely. So Retail Next really focuses in on the in-store shopping experience and optimizing that customer journey through the store. And I think trends that I'm seeing, and a lot of what I speak about obviously is the brick and mortar side of the business, just to be clear and transparent. But on the brick and mortar side of the business, understanding that customer experience is really key, and I think 2016 is the year that a lot of retailers are putting some juice behind that initiative to really understand what's happening and what's engaging their shoppers. And they can do this through the use of enabling technologies within the store that go beyond foundational information like traffic counting, how many are coming in, but taking a bit of a deeper dive into understanding, okay, where are they going, what fixtures are they stopping at, how long are they spending at these fixtures, or more importantly, where they're not going in the store, which is probably even more important than where they are going in the store. And then also layering on top of that a deeper dive of who their customers are, what their preferences are. And I think one of the biggest things that retailers can do from a trend standpoint and from addressing it is really keeping this two-way conversation going with their customer so that they really understand what their shopper and what the customer is wanting when they're in that retail store environment.
So what are some of the things that are preventing retailers from achieving those goals and really being innovative? Because I know that that's one of the things that they're searching for.
Right. And I think if you compare the physical retail side of the business with the digital side of the business, certainly the retail side of the business on the physical side has been very challenged in trying to be as nimble and quick as the e-commerce business is. And so a lot of people ask me, why is that? Why can't, brick and mortars be nimble? Well, we have a lot of legacy systems that are kind of in our infrastructure, so it's very difficult to kind of bring in all kinds of new systems to partner up with the existing infrastructure that we have today. And I also think a lot of our traditional retail formats have legacy management styles and structures that prevent them from quickly making decisions and test and learn and getting out there and launch and learn. I think in the past, traditional retailers have been very much on an edict of, okay, let's develop a strategy, let's run through the strategy, let's deploy the strategy, and it becomes a very long process. And I think they have to be a bit more, innovative and nimble and just jump into strategies. Maybe they're not perfect, but roll them out, test, see what you learn, and move forward. So I think those are kind of some things that keeps traditional retail from being very nimble as their e-com partners. But I think they are getting better.
They have to, right, these days.
Yeah.
So what would you, if you were giving advice to retailers on how to choose, which technologies they should be considering, right? Because there's so many out there, there's so many choices, so what's your advice for how to go about that process?
Yeah, and I think that, a lot of people ask me, which technologies are going to solve all my problems? Yeah. And I always say, well, it depends, it depends. What are your strategies? What are you trying to achieve? And I think more importantly than answering the question of what are the strategies that, what are the technologies we have to employ in our retail stores, I think a bigger question is what partners do I need to have? Because technologies change and the advancement of technologies is so fast. I think it's more important to say, okay, what type of partner should I be looking for to help me in my transformation of my retail stores? And I think you need to look for business partners that, one, have a very open system so they can take in all kinds of different technologies or data information into one comprehensive view. I think retailers need to look for partners that genuinely, in their heart, really want to help them drive their business and not just sell them a bunch of hardware or technology that they don't need. And I think the third thing when looking at kind of partners is one that can grow with you. So today you may just want, hey, I just want to do traffic counting today, but tomorrow you might want in-store analytics. And you know what? Down the road you might want full path analysis. So choosing partners that have open systems, that are genuinely interested in helping you grow the business as a retailer, and three, are able to grow with you in the process and the evolution and get that feedback, from you as you go through the journey.
Yeah. So really do your homework as far as who are the best partners to work with, because that's going to drive your success moving forward. You have to feel comfortable with who you're working with.
You have to feel comfortable. I think the other thing, and obviously I work for Retail Next, so not to do a plug for them, but one of the things recently that Retail Next announced was a new sensor called Aurora. And the reason that this was introduced is the exact reason when I talk about partners to grow with you, and that's because we felt that the hardwares in the technology business weren't growing as fast as analytics. So you were having to have a camera and then a separate device like a beacon, and you'd have a third device, and all of a sudden you have all these devices, you know, in your retail stores. When you have 2,000 retail stores, you're right, you can't have 200 beacons in 2,000 stores across, you know, United States and globally. So what they did is they went out and created a device that was a camera, a sensor, you know, that did everything all in one. So I think that's the type of innovation that retailers, partnerships that retailers really want to find is, hey, who can grow with me? Who can solve a problem that I don't even know that I have yet, or who can help me solve a problem, even though if they can't solve it today, are willing to put the R&D behind it to help me solve it for the future.
Good advice. Thanks so much for sharing your insights with us today. Thanks to all of you as well. Have a great day.